External webcams and document cameras can be a great asset in your classroom or virtual classroom. They can be used in online Zoom meetings to clearly present physical materials. They can be used with panels or projectors to give your class a better view of materials. And there are many other great ways to utilize these tools for your students' learning. For this video, I'm going to walk you through the basics of setting up your camera on your laptop. I'm going to be using the HUE HD Pro document camera. If you don't have this specific camera, that's okay. You can still follow along, as most external cameras are plug-and-play devices. Just keep in mind to substitute the name of your camera instead of the HUE as we go over this together later in the settings. Let's go ahead and open up this HUE camera. There's a cover over the box that we'll need to slide off. Now we can go ahead and open up the box. We can set this pamphlet aside. Here is the HUE camera. And we have a dock for the HUE. Let's go ahead and place the camera into the dock. And lastly, under this plastic is the cable to go to the computer. We'll take this smaller end, put it right here in the back, and take this tie off. Okay, here it is. We have the HUE all ready to use with our device. Before we dive in with the computer, it may be a good idea to give it a restart before moving on. Many common computer errors like sluggishness can be improved by shutting down your computer at the end of each day. If you're all set, go ahead and let's log into your device. Here's my computer and my HUE camera. I'm going to find an open USB port on either side of the device and connect it. You choose which side is best for you depending on your working arrangement. Alright, now go ahead and open up your Zoom meeting. In my current setup, I now have two cameras. I have my default HP HD camera that is built into my laptop above my screen, and I now have my HUE HD camera. Again, keep in mind in a second you may not have the exact names on your screen that I do, but you'll be able to pick your camera apart by toggling between them. The fastest way to toggle between your cameras while in a meeting is by clicking the caret arrow by your video icon. Here you can see which camera is currently chosen by looking at the check mark. And you have the option to choose your other camera. Let's go ahead and try the HUE. You can see all we had to do is plug it up to our computer and it works without having to install any drivers. This specific camera does not have autofocus, so you may need to twist the focusing knob around the lens if your video is blurry. There's also a touch activated light that may be helpful if your area is low lit. This camera also has a microphone right here below the lens, and we'll look into that later. Now let me show you how to rotate your camera's feed in case you change its orientation. Let's go back to the video menu and click on Video Settings. Up here is where you can rotate, and you may need to mirror your video if it's showing as reversed. You can also toggle the video quality here and adjust for low light here. Okay, we can go ahead and close this window. If you need to make sure your audience has a full screen view of your second camera like this, you'll need to go to the Share Screen menu. Then click the Advanced tab up top. Now click the Content from Second Camera option and click Share. Then you can hit Switch Camera. This will ensure your audience has a full screen view, and you can toggle back to your main camera at the top left at any time. You can see how this would be useful if you need to show content in your classroom, like things on your board, or if you need to show a book to your audience or your students. And again, if you're showing something up far away from you, you may need to turn the knob in order to focus it clearer as compared to whenever viewing lower. You can focus that better. And then the light is right here. And you can touch activate that if you're in a dark room. If you have your camera upright like this, showing content vertically, if you go down to look at something on your desk, you'll either have to turn your book or page away from you, but to make it easier to read, normally you'll have to go to your video settings again, and you can rotate it 180 degrees so that then you can go ahead and you can read it and they can see it correctly as you're showing it. Now that we've covered some camera basics, we need to cover microphones and sound. You want your audience to hear you very clearly, and that can be tricky as we now have two microphones. One here on your laptop, and then one here right under the camera. And you may possibly even have a third microphone if you're using a headset. A headset will offer the best sound results as you have a microphone perfectly in place at all times. If you don't have a headset, you'll need to choose between your built-in microphone on your laptop or your external camera's microphone if it has one. Keep in mind, if you're going to be moving your external camera away from you frequently, it might not pick up your voice great. To find the best option for yourself, go into your audio settings. And we're going to run a few mic tests and then choose which microphone is better for you. You can adjust the level right here, and you can see the built-in microphone. And then we have our HUE camera. Test, test, HUE camera. Test, test, HUE camera. Test, test, laptop microphone. Test, test, laptop microphone. When you're finished, you can close this window. If you need to toggle between microphones, you can do this the same way you change your camera by using the caret, but under the audio icon. You can select your built-in microphone, or if you prefer your camera microphone, you can check that one off. We've gone over the basics of setting up an external camera and utilizing it in your Zoom on your laptop. Once you get comfortable with it, you may want to get more use out of it by using other software with it, such as Visualizer. Visualizer can give you the ability to annotate or write over what you're sharing. We'll save that for another video, as well as how to use these cameras on a panel. If you need additional support, please call the Rock Hill School District Technology Help Desk or submit a Get Help ticket from your Launchpad.